I want you to look at the serve of a pro named Lloyd Harris. It's likely that you've never heard of him. He's currently ranked number 136 in the world. His career high ranking was number 31. I saw Harris practicing serve on a back court at this year's US Open. And as soon as I saw him, I noticed something unusual. Here are the two videos I took of him. See if you notice the same thing. So, what do you think? Does it look pretty much like other pros' serves, or do you see something different? If you didn't see what I saw, here he is again, and this time, watch the point at which Harris makes contact with the ball. Notice that he strikes the ball at the exact peak of the toss. Now watch four other pros. In order, they will be Pete Sampras, one of the great servers the game has ever seen, Iga Swiatek, currently number one in the world, Feliciano Lopez, who in my opinion has as fine and fluid a service motion as you will ever see, and Petra Kvitova, two-time Wimbledon champion, previously ranked as high as number 2 in the world and currently ranked at 14. Watch where in their service tosses they make contact with the ball. No doubt you now see why Lloyd Harris's serves are so unusual. He is one of the few players who strikes the ball at the peak of the toss before it begins its descent. I say one of the few, but in fact, I cannot think of hardly any other players who do not let the ball descend before they strike it. And I am not ashamed to say that probably like you, I fall in with the great bulk of the pros who strike the ball on its way down. Here I am, and as you can see, I too let the ball pass its peak before I hit it. Briefly, if you like this video, please click the like icon below, and if you're not already subscribing, please consider doing so. Both actions greatly help the channel. So, who should we emulate? Lloyd Harris or the bulk of pro players who strike the ball on its descent? From a purely analytical point of view, I say we should do as Lloyd Harris does. Strike the ball at the very peak of the toss. At that point, the ball is transitioning from going up to coming down. Thus, it is almost stationary. On the other hand, if you let the ball fall from its peak, its descent will quickly accelerate. Gravity pulls objects downward at the rate of 9.8 meters per second squared, meaning that objects increase their rate of descent by a smidgen more than 32 feet for every second that they continue to fall. Now, that is how it works in a vacuum, and we, thank thankfully, play in the atmosphere. So the rate of the fuzzy ball's accelerating descent is less. The point, however, is that the higher the toss, the faster the ball is descending at contact, and thus the more precisely you must time your swing. I am not alone in this understanding. Tom Avery, whose instructional videos I highly recommend, makes the same point. I've put a citation to that video and to Tom's channel in the notes below. However, I cannot recommend that you strive to strike the tossed ball at its peak. Yes, it makes analytical sense, but I simply cannot go against what almost every pro tennis player actually does. These are the men and women who know best, so I go along with the generally expressed rule. Aim to toss the ball a little higher, 2 inches is often mentioned, than the tip of your racket reaches at contact, and make contact as the ball is descending. You don't want a very high toss. Not only is it falling faster at the instant of contact, if you toss too high, you may have to slow your swing while waiting for the ball to fall. You may even have to stop your swing entirely for an instant. Not what you want to do. Finally, as always, I want you to keep playing and enjoying the greatest of all games.